everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope everyone has an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new, we of course welcome to you too. I hope you enjoy what you see, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, of course I hope you will click the red subscribe button. Of course, for today's DIY we are going to use the tumbling towel blocks, the smaller blocks. You'll find the measurement of my smaller blocks and the bigger blocks in the down below in the description box with the measurement, so you can compare it with your own tumbling towel blocks, so you can see if you need the big one or the smaller ones, but these are the smaller ones. I have here my container with everything inside I need for my DIY, but of course make your own container with everything you need. The most important is of course the wood glue, but of course you can use some hot glue or maybe others, but be careful that it doesn't break. I have here my paint. This is just an example. You don't have to do these colors. You can do any color you like. I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. These are the main things we need for this DIY. What we're going to do, we are going to make hanging shelves, but we will see how this will turn out. So the first step is of course 4 rows of 8. We do it in parts because my mat is not bigger. So this is not the whole piece. We are doing 4 pieces of 8, and we're just going to lay them on the table, and we just get some glue. It has some troubles coming out, but we just roll them on the top side on each other this way over here. And if you use a carpenter square, you just lay them down and you always have the straight line, but I don't use it. I have one, but I don't use it because I like it a little bit better to do it this way. I'm just a stubborn old lady, so don't mind me if you just want to do with your a carpenter square is totally fine. But if you're just like me, always just feel with your finger. That's the most important. And again, you just do number 3 and place the tops. Do enough glue on the top, of course not too much. I'm a person who always use a little bit too much glue, but I say you can better use a little bit too much than too less, that it will break. So again, the last row of this one, and we simply roll them together and this way. And now we're going to start from the inside to the outside, and again squeeze it, feel with your fingers, make sure that you have a nice straight line before you're going to glue. Press everything together again, feel with your fingers, go back and do this one also. You do here again the same and go back. Of course, this takes a little bit more of your time, but of course, I always show you every step. So you see already, I wanted to press from the outside and that doesn't work. And again, go back. And we don't have to do it perfect yet because we still need to clean it up. I only do this cleaning up together with you this time. Just clean it up, move it around, keep it pressed together, clean up your mat. And again, do the side and again, squeeze it. Do the back side also, and then you're going to turn it totally to this side. And again, press it together. You clean up over here, you clean up this one. And again, move it around, place it down. You can also do it in one time and clean up your mat. And so you go on and always go back before you're going to press it. Go back and make sure that everything is glued nicely. And the greater thing about wood glue, you still can redo it for a long time because it's still not dried up for at least I think maybe a half hour. And if you really want to use it, always I say let it dry overnight, because that's the most important of your wood glue. Be careful, turn it over, do the back side and clean up your mat this way. And now we're going to go back, feel with our fingers, and then we're going to place this 4 aside because we need another set. And again, you see another set of 4 rows of 8 blocks. And of course, I do 8 blocks, but you can do, of course, make it longer. This is more not too high. Of course, he will be high, but not too high. So this is easier placing somewhere in your decor. You can do it standing up, just on the back side, maybe on the kitchen counter, or maybe in your dresser, or on top of your dresser, on the back side. But you can also hang it to the wall because it is a shelf hanger. So you can hang it also. Oh, I already glued this one together, and this way. So you can use it for more purposes than only this one. And you can later make some legs under it, so you can even keep it standing for sure. So this way you can build it out at your own taste, because everyone has their own taste, especially also their own colors. Not everyone likes the same colors. Some people like more gold and silver. Some go for a little bit more for the farmhouse style. So everyone has their own taste in their decor, and that's the greatest. So you can do it any way you like, because maybe you don't like what I make, so you can change it up at your privilege. So again, this is the last of 8, and I'm going to make sure that everything is nicely stick together. I'm going to clean it up also. This we're going to, you see already what I do is tricky, because sometimes he pops out of it. I had it already so many times, but sometimes your fingers are faster than your brain. So you're already pressing it before you think, I should have done that. So this way, and again this one, we're going to go back, make sure that we have a nice straight line. So I'm going to clean it up and let all 8 pieces of 8, let them dry for at least an hour. So now when this is drying, of course, the back side, and later we're going to do the back side also high. This is one piece of the back side we just made, but on the top we're going to make it a little higher, but that's later. First we're going to make the shelves, and I'm still a little bit debating how many shelves I will do, but I'm going to start with 5 pieces of 5. So 5 pieces of 5, we lay them flat on the table. We do some glue on the smallest line of the block, and just roll them very simple together this way, because you want to decorate the shelves, because at least I love to decorate little displays. So again, this one and this go over here. Oh, you see where that's always when you have some wood glue on your hands, it's always sticking to your blocks, and that's not what you want right now. Again, number 5. And we're going to squeeze them this way. Make sure that you have a nice straight line this way, and over here and over here. Squeeze it together always at the end. If you press it together, squeeze it at the end. You're going to get your wet towel, wipe away the glue, do it fast to the side, place it straight up, clean up your mat, and do the back side also, and then go back to make a straight line. If you're not using a carpenter square, clean up your mat, do this side, and go back and feel with your fingers. Also over here, place it straight up and do it fast. Don't do slowly this way, because then it probably will break. So again, you do it this way, because if you do and this way. Now is this a really short piece from 5 pieces, but if you have one of 10 or 15 and then you do it slow, then it will break. Again, this way, place it straight up, clean up your mat, turn it over and do the back side. And now we're going to give them only a half minute. So now we're going to turn them this way, place them in one row, very gently. So you see already, he is still not right up, but you can easily just place it together again, press it, and I'm just going to keep it in place for a little moment. And over here, and roll it together. Wood glue is great because the adjustment you still can make is always nice, and that's why we only wait a half minute, because you see already we have some over pieces which go over from 1 until the 2nd row, the third row, 4th and 5th, and that's not what we want. So we want to fill in the open gaps. That's why we only wait a half minute. And again, you're going to squeeze it, place it straight up. Oh. And this also DIYing, place it straight up, clean up your mat, do the back side, and again, place it together. And over here, and always go back to the side to make sure that also the side has a nice straight line. Again, this way. Now we're going to do 5 loose blocks this way, and we do the top. Over here and over here. Roll them together, and the last, and over here. And now we're going to clean it up and we're going to let this dry in, and then we're going to do the other one. Of course, you can do this side, turn it over and do the back side. Go back, feel with your fingers, and we're going to let this dry. So we did give it a little moment. What we're going to do, we do a little small line over here on this side. And we're going to, and you still see he is still not dry. Just place it together again this way. Press it together, place it straight up, and we're going to place it to the back side of the shelf. And again, press only the underside. And we're going to let this dry in for a minute also. So our bottom shelf is drying. We have now 5 rows of 5 again. And also these pieces you can change up, because I keep them also a little bit smaller this way. But you can, if you have a bigger home, you can size it up very easily. So I'm now going to do the top of the shelves, and I think I can do one in between. I think then I have still enough space to decorate it. So again, we're doing the 5 rows of 5, and we're going to squeeze them all together until one piece. The same like we did with the first one, but I won't bore you with that, with cleaning and pressing and everything else. So we gave them a half minute again, and we're going to go this way, and we're going to place it on the side, do some glue on the top. This way, we do here the same. And over here. And the last. And we roll also this piece together. And again, fill in the open gaps. And press also the sides again. And now we're going to clean it up and let it dry in. So again, we take 1 of 5 loose blocks, and we're going to do the same like we did with the bottom one. We do some glue on this side, on this one, and on this one. Again, going to squeeze it and let it dry in for a minute. So now we're going to do again some glue on the smallest line of this block over here. Just a small line on the underside, and we just place it straight up, and we place it against the underside of this shelf also. And again, press it together this way, and we're going to let this dry in for an hour also. So now we're going to make the middle shelf, and I'm going to do the middle shelf a little bit different, because I want to have a little bit of texture inside of the frame, or else it will be one only layer. So I have 4 pieces of 5, not 5 but 4 pieces of 5. We're just going to glue them together this way and over here, and this is also 1 of the half. And now we're going to do the second one, and again roll them very easy together, and this one over here, and the last. And now we're going to easy press them together, the same like we did with the others. And we're going to give it a half minute drying after cleaning it up. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn them, and we're going to turn them, but we're not going to make one row out of it. We just get 1 of them over here, place it together. We get 1 of this one, and we place this one also together. Just fill in the open gaps this way. Make sure that you keep a straight line, so always go back to the sides. And you do here the same. Press it together until one piece, but also feel on this side that you stay in one nice line. And again, we're going to let this dry in for a minute. So now we're going to get 2 blocks and 2 blocks this way, and we do some glue on the tops, glue it together, do some glue on the tops, glue it together, press it down, and over here we're going to clean it up and let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes. And again, but of course I give you a little bit of an indication of your minutes, but of course you can let it dry a little longer. So now you're going to do a small line on this one over here. Of course, don't forget a piece of glue, because we need to have it glued nicely together. And over here. And now we're going to Place this straight up against here. And again, press it together. You do here the same. And press it together. And now we feel with the fingers because it can't stick out because that's not a nice side to see. So now we're going to let this to dry also for an hour. So now I have here 2 rows of 5, 2 rows of 5, and we are going to need these 2 pieces to make it ourselves easy to glue the pieces together and with a little space in between, or else we are going to get it very difficult to make everything in a straight line. So that's why I make myself easy, and I'm just going to make 2 rows of 5 just to make sure that I have everything in a straight line, because you don't want that your shells are crooked later. So we're going to do 2 pieces of 5. We're just going to clean them up and this way, and we just easy move it apart, place it on this side, clean up your mat and clean this side. Again, do here the same. Squeeze it, we're going to turn it, clean up your mat, and again clean also this one. Go back and make sure that you have a nice straight line in your blocks, and then you're going to let it dry in for I think 10 minutes. So now we have our 2 pieces of 5 over here. We have 4 loose pieces, 4 loose pieces over here, 1 loose piece, and of course 2 loose pieces. We're going to do with 2 of them. We just glue them together this way until 1 piece. We're going to clean it up and give it a minute of drying. So again, make sure that it has a nice straight line, and we're going to give it, like I told you, a minute to dry. We are going to get 1 of the pieces of 5. We're going to lay it flat on the table. We're going to get 1 loose block. What we're going to do, we are going to do some glue over here on this side, and we're going to place it inside here, just a little piece. You can use also, of course, 1 block to make sure that you have a straight line. You do here the same, do some glue and place it over here. Use this as a measurement. Just place it on the side and just squeeze it. You're going to clean it up over here and over here. Then you're going to get your measurement. You place it on the top over here, and you just get your loose block, not glue, not the whole piece, only a little piece, not everything. And again, you're going to squeeze it and this way, and you're going to wipe away the glue. You do here the same. You get your measurement, you place it straight up, you get 1 of your loose block. Don't only do a little bit of glue on one side of the smallest block, and again you're going to place it over here. Make sure that you have a straight line. You're going to press it together this way, and you're going to wipe away the glue over here, and you get, oh, I'm sorry for the noise. You get your measurement again. You just place it over here. You do some glue again on the little part of the block. Place it again over here, and you're going to press it down. Make sure and feel, of course, always press this way. Don't press on this side, because or else it will break. Again, you do this one on this side. A little bit of glue, and you're going to place it over here. Make sure that you have a straight line, so you're sure that both of the sides, and you see already, this is what I mean. If you press a little too hard on this side, you have to get your piece back together again and place it together. And now we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave it a couple of minutes. We're going to get our last loose block over here. We do some little bit of glue, and we place it again with our measurement. Place it over here, and again just gently going to squeeze it together this way, and you do here the same. Use it as a measurement, place it over here, and we're just going to place it down and this way, and we're going to get our measurement away, and we're going to wipe away the glue. Be careful, just keep it in place until you are wiping away the glue. So don't let it loose or else it will go this way. So we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes. So now you have left over a piece of 2 and a loose block. So what we're going to do, we do some glue from the double up, a little glue over here and a little on this side on the smallest line of the block. And we just easy place it in the middle and give it a little bit of pressure, not too hard. This way. And now you're going to do the loose block and you place it on top. And now you can let everything dry in for at least a half hour. So now we have this piece, you see already, now you can see it a little bit better. This is a 5 under here, and you just go stairways up, and then you're going to place this on the side over here, and you have the loose piece of 5 over here. Now I'm going to get all my 8 pieces of 8 and we're going to glue them together. And you see already here my 8 pieces of 8. Of course, I have to think about it. My 8 pieces of 8 we made earlier. What we're going to do, we're going to get some loose block, place it in between halfway. I have some loose block, place it in between halfway. We do here the same. And of course, on this one, in between this one and this one. And just very easy, roll it together until one piece. And we're just going to try to let it measure up a little bit this way. So we have a nice, at least already it looks like a straight line. So we're going to get one loose piece of 5 and we're going to place it again. See, look for if it is fitting nicely. Of course, it's not really totally fitting, but we have to make it work. And see already, here is some space left over because this one is a little bit crooked. You see it already this way, but we're going to make the best of it. This is only a piece you don't see later because there will be a shelf in front. So this is only to help me to make sure that everything has a nice straight line. And on this side, we are going to get this one, the same. But of course, I have to roll my mats together to make it fitting. So you see, I rolled 2 mats together. Here's the opening from the first one. You see already, I have not a really big mat. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place this one on the side against here. So I easily can see, because I want to have an easy way how to glue all the pieces. Of course, you can take this off, do it on this side and this side, but it will be one big mess. But if I place it this way, I can easily do some glue just on this side, on the smallest line, because we will glue this against each other. And we have it over here, and at the ending. So we have easy, and we place it down, and we gently press it together. Make sure this way, and we're not going to press it too hard. Of course, we do here a little bit the same, but of course it's a little bit more difficult because we can place it straight up, but that won't help us. So I'm just going to do this a little bit out of my hand. So just measure out a little bit what you think is a block in between. You can use a block as a measurement, but I'm just going to try and see how far it will get me. So I will see if I'm correctly this way. I think I'm quite all right. And again, we're going to place this also against here. So we're going to give it a little bit of pressure, not too hard. And now we're going to work with it. And again, we're going to remove the blocks this way, this way, this way. And try not to move it too much. And again, you can still redo it. Go back, make sure that this one is in between, because you don't want the pieces are sticking out. So again, give it some pressure, feel with your fingers. And then if you're happy with how the pieces are, then you're going to let it dry in for at least an hour. So now we gave it a moment, not totally an hour yet, but only a moment, because we're going to glue also now the shelves on his place. So we are going to place this one over here. And of course, make sure that everything is glued nicely together. So we are going to do some glue on the underside of this one. Over here. Make sure that every piece has a little bit of glue. And we're just going to do with the border up. We're going to place it on the ending of this piece. So again, place it over here, and we're going to make sure, press it down and feel with your fingers again. Make sure on the back side that you have it straight with the bottom, because so it can stand on its own. And this way. And we're going to get a small brush like this and just going to go wipe away the glue which is sticking out over here. And we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So now we're going to do the other shelf, and we're going to do some glue over here. Make sure that everything is sticking nicely. And I do it this way because then I know for sure that my piece is sticking. And of course there is a little bit of glue within the spaces in between, but I wipe that later away because I want to be sure that each piece has enough glue. So I'm going to do this a little bit halfway the ending and halfway the top. So I'm going to place this one on top of here, and we're going to let this dry in also for an hour. So now we need only our half shelves over here, and I'm going to glue, I'm going to glue mine. You have 8 pieces. I'm going to do in the half, and of course I'm going to glue the underside under the connection with 4th and 5th block, so over here. So I'm going to do some glue over here, over here, over here, and I'm going to place it in between this way and give it a little bit of pressure. I do here the same, and make sure that the corner is up on the top over here. And I'm going to place this one on the other side, but also again just under the connection line, and again give it some pressure. And now we're going to let this piece dry in, especially an hour, hour and a half. Maybe you can do it even what longer. So you see already, this is how he's looking like. And of course I can place him a little bit higher. But of course, if I want to have it totally in the frame of my camera, then I have to do it this way, because I place it straight up, then you won't see it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to spray paint mine. I think I'm going to do spray paint it in the black color, but you can choose any color you like. So I'm going to go outside and give it my color. So you see already, mine is in the black spray paint. Of course, you don't see it in totally, but right now you see the quick impression. And here you see finally a quick impression of my Tumbling tile blocks shelf hanger. And of course, you see already, you can also use it for a stand. I'm so happy how this one turned out and so easy to make. I hope you give this one a try, and everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw also. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up and hit the bell, so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Have an amazing day everyone, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!